A new tax will go into effect this weekend that would be the highest in the country.
Rich people are the ones who are bouncing, and as they go, concerns that California's golden geese are taking flight.
Americans are leaving California and New York in droves.
California has the highest state income tax rate in the entire country, with the top earners paying 13.3%. The state also has a high sales and property tax. Many people are struggling with these taxes as the cost of living keeps going up. With other states having better tax rates and incentives, Californians are fleeing the state. California has always been a place full of opportunity, attracting people around the world with its beautiful scenery, strong economy, and creative atmosphere. But lately, more people are leaving the Golden State to live in other states, and this trend doesn't seem to be stopping. So what's causing the big shift? With extreme high housing prices and rising taxes and natural disasters, these are just to name a few. It's normal for people to move between states, and the pandemic made it even easier for people to switch where they live. However, in California, more people are leaving than arriving.
We're no longer the magnet we used to be.
In 2020, California's population dropped by over 182,000 people and then fell again 117,000 people in 2021.
This is mostly because people are choosing to leave.
This decrease in population isn't just because people are moving away. There were fewer babies born during the pandemic and people passed away. The US Census Bureau said that in 2021, more than 70% of the counties in the US had more deaths than births, which made the population smaller. Hey, if you appreciate this information and research in this video, it makes a huge difference if you hit the like button or subscribe. But so far this year, for every 100 people leaving California, only 37 people are moving in. In the last 2 years, California's population has dropped by 500,000 people. Many Californians feel like they're being taxed to death, and they are extremely fed up with the way things are being handled. And if it wasn't bad enough, there's now a new tax, a 4% transfer tax on the sale of properties over $5 million, and a 5.5% property tax sold for properties over $10 million. This is on top of the existing transfer tax. So if you sell a home for $20 million, you'll owe a new tax bill of $1.2 million. That to me is enough to say I'm out. California has always had a high cost of living, but the housing crisis has gotten worse in recent years. The average home price in the state is nearly double the national average, making it extremely hard for many people to afford a house. And the rental market is also tough, with very high rents forcing people to live in their cars. And to make it worse, the housing market in California is cooling down. But that may not be true in other parts of the country. If you're thinking about leaving California or any other state with really high taxes and an unbearable cost of living, there are other states with more reasonable costs. Texas, for example, is a very business-friendly state, and with many companies moving from California, there's a big need for employees with these businesses that have left California. California is extremely expensive, but there are other options that might surprise you. Texas, Florida, Utah, Arizona, these are just a few states that have a lower cost of living. Right now, we're in a very different market than we've ever seen, where home prices in one area are dramatically dropping and other prices rising. So this puts both the seller and the buyer of properties in a real pickle.
This is hard. I am in a pickle.
And if you're fed up with paying higher taxes and higher costs of living, now just might be the best time for you to get out. I work with real estate agents all over the country, and I'd be happy to give you a referral. Right now, the average home price in the US fell 3.3% year over year in March. This is the largest drop since 2012, according to a Redfin report. Today's serious home buyers have grown accustomed to the idea of a 5 or 6% rate and have adjusted their budgets accordingly. The lack of homes hitting the market explains why the market is moving fast, even though sales are still down. The lack of new listings is also another reason why sales are down. Buyers can't buy if sellers don't want to sell. Neither buyers nor sellers are making many moves with the mortgage rates still high. The average 30-year fixed mortgage rate was 6.54% in April, while a year ago it was 4.17%. Buyers have more power right now, and the silver lining of high interest rates and slow market we've been experiencing is that some buyers are now able to buy in neighborhoods that they couldn't have gotten into last year, and get contingent offers with a small down payment accepted. If it feels like there aren't enough homes on the market for the people who want to buy one, it's because there aren't. Even though elevated mortgage rates continue to dampen the home buying demand, low inventory means homes that are for sale are going fast in some parts of the country. More than half of the US home prices are falling. The median home sale price fell for the 8th straight month in a row after more than a decade of increases. Home sale prices dropped 30 out of 50 most populated cities, with the biggest drops in Oakland, California at negative 11.5%. Sacramento came in at negative 9%, San Francisco came in at negative 9%, and Seattle, Washington came in at negative 9.1%. On the other end of the spectrum, sale prices increased most in Fort Lauderdale, where they rose 9.1 year over year. Next comes Cincinnati at 9%, Miami at 8.5%, West Palm Beach at 8%, and Milwaukee at 7.2%. We really are in a unique market, mainly because the challenge is not with people wanting to buy a home, but with the limited availability of homes for sale. With inventory being 41% lower than pre-pandemic levels, new construction home builders are cautious due to high mortgage rates. The 30-year fixed mortgage rate has risen, causing a 10% drop in active home buyers. Builders are finding success with incentives like mortgage rate buydowns, meaning the builder will eat upfront costs, giving the buyer a better deal without lowering the sales price. Then the buyer hopes that they'll be able to refinance at a lower rate later on. This is a good way for buyers to get into a good deal and builders to offload product. Builders now have 30% of the supply of homes for sale compared to a historical average of 9%. This really shows how people aren't willing to put their houses up for sale and giving up that 3% interest rate. But that doesn't stop people moving forward and purchasing homes. Specifically for Gen Zers, when it comes to home buying, they are coming out on top. So how did Gen Z gain the competitive edge? It all comes down to a healthy labor market and a lot to do with timing when Gen Z entered the labor market versus when millennials did. More than 24 million jobs have been added to the economy since April of 2020. The total employment now exceeds pre-pandemic levels according to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. With the strong job market, prospects, and also higher wages, Gen Zers were in a good position to take advantage of the rock bottom interest rates that helped fuel the buying frenzy in 2020 and 2021. Record low mortgage rates and the ability to move somewhere affordable thanks to remote work. And the bumps to their paychecks helped some Gen Zers break into the housing market. My advice is, if you are in the market for a new home, instead of waiting for the market and a much lower price, buy a home based on your budget and needs. If you find a home you love in an area that you love and it also fits your budget, then chances are it might be right for you. However, if you make too many sacrifices just to get the house, you may end up with buyer's remorse and potentially forcing you to offload the house. Buying a house in any market is a highly personal decision. Because most homes represent the largest single purchase most people will make in their lifetime, it's crucial to be in a solid financial position before diving in. If you like this video and you like the information, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, and I'll talk to you on the next video.